There's something peaceful about the early morning, the hush before the world fully wakes up, the gentle steam rising from a warm cup of tea, the birds calling softly from the trees. It's in these quiet moments that we often reflect, remembering the simple things that make us feel whole. A good night's sleep, a body that moves with ease, the comforting rhythm of daily routines. As we grow older, those little comforts become even more precious. But sometimes aches linger, sleep becomes restless, or digestion just isn't what it used to be. And we start to wonder, is there something gentle I can do to support myself? That's where today's conversation begins. Not with a prescription, but with a pair of humble, familiar ingredients that have been quietly trusted for generations: castor oil and baking soda. This isn't about magic fixes. It's about easing back into balance using what's already within reach. Whether you've heard stories from your grandparents or you're simply curious, this natural duo has quietly helped many people feel a little more at home in their own bodies. In the spirit of senior wellness, we'll gently explore how these two household staples might offer comfort in ways you may not expect. Because in this chapter of senior living, small thoughtful choices often bring the most lasting relief. So take a breath, settle in, and let's discover something simple and meaningful together. It often begins with something subtle. Maybe you're waking up more often during the night, not quite sure why. The urge to visit the bathroom becomes more frequent, especially at those quiet hours when the rest of the world is sleeping. It's not painful exactly, just persistent, disruptive. And as the days go on, it starts to affect more than just your sleep, your mood, your energy, even your confidence. Many older men find themselves in this situation, quietly adjusting their lives around something they don't talk about: much changes in the prostate. It's one of those parts of the body that doesn't make headlines until it starts to make itself known. And by the time it does, it's often been calling out in whispers for years. But here's the good news: support doesn't have to be invasive or complicated. Sometimes it can begin with something simple, something natural, something you might already have in your home. That's where the quiet power of castor oil and baking soda comes in. Now let's be clear, this isn't about promising cures or replacing medical advice. If you're having ongoing symptoms, speaking with your doctor should always be your first step. But what we're exploring here today is a gentle, non-invasive approach that some seniors have found helpful as part of their overall wellness routine. Imagine this: a warm evening on the porch, soft breeze moving through the trees, and a sense of calm in your body you haven't felt in weeks. That's the kind of ease some folks have described after using castor oil compresses in the lower abdomen or pelvic area. When applied consistently with warmth and patience, many report feeling more relaxed, less tense, and less disrupted by those nightly interruptions. Castor oil has long been appreciated for its ability to support circulation and soothe inflamed tissue. Baking soda, though simple, can help create an environment that supports balance in the body. Together, when used topically with care, they may help ease some of the tension associated with inflammation in the lower abdomen, especially when used alongside other senior health tips that promote comfort and rest. Some older adults choose to warm castor oil, slightly soak a soft cloth, and apply it gently across the lower abdomen while relaxing in a recliner or lying on a bed with a heating pad. Others add a bit of baking soda to the skin before applying the compress, believing it enhances the soothing effect. This isn't a quick fix, but for many it's become a comforting part of their senior living routine. And beyond the physical, there's something mentally calming about creating space for care. Turning off the TV, dimming the lights, and giving your body the message, you're worth this time. You deserve peace. That mindset alone can be healing. It's not just about what castor oil does, it's about the intention behind it. Choosing to care for yourself without rushing, choosing stillness, choosing trust in the little things. Here at Senior Wellness, we believe strongly in the value of these quiet rituals. They may not come with labels or prescriptions, but they speak the language of presence, of patience, of tuning into what your body truly needs. If you're curious to try this approach, start small. One evening, a few drops of warmed oil, a clean cloth, a few deep breaths, and always listen to your body and your doctor. Because while aging brings changes, it also brings wisdom. The wisdom to pause, to notice, to try what feels right for you, especially when that something is as simple as an old bottle of castor oil and a touch of baking soda in the quiet of your own home. Your comfort matters. And sometimes supporting it begins not with more, but with less complexity, fewer side effects, and more connection to your own care. Sometimes the changes we notice with age are subtle at first. a few extra strands on the hairbrush, a little more scalp showing in the mirror. You brush your hair one morning and pause. Was it always this thin near the temples? Hair loss isn't just about vanity. For many older adults, it can feel like a quiet erosion of confidence, a small daily reminder that time is marching on sometimes faster than we expected. And while it's true that hair naturally thins with age, that doesn't mean there's nothing we can do to care for it or to nourish the sense of self that's tied to it. That's where the humble bottle of castor oil comes in. Now, you might remember castor oil as something your mother or grandmother kept under the sink. Maybe it was used for dry skin, or even as a remedy for stomach troubles. But what many don't realize is that this thick golden oil has been quietly trusted for generations to support scalp health and in turn hair growth. Let's be clear, we're not talking about miracle cures. This isn't a guarantee that your hair will suddenly grow back overnight. But in the world of senior wellness, we believe in small, consistent acts of care. And when it comes to supporting your hair, that can start with gently massaging castor oil into your scalp. Why castor oil? It's rich in ricinoleic acid, a natural compound that helps promote circulation to the scalp. Improved circulation means more nourishment reaches the hair follicles, which may help them function more effectively. Some believe this added support can slow shedding and encourage growth, or simply help hair appear fuller and healthier over time. Even better, this quiet ritual of oiling the scalp can become a moment of self-care. Imagine sitting out on the back porch in the late afternoon sunlight, warming your shoulders, a soft towel draped around your neck. You warm a few drops of oil between your hands, then gently press it into your scalp with your fingertips, slowly, kindly, with no rush. It's not just the oil doing the work. It's you telling your body, I still care for you. Some seniors add a touch of baking soda beforehand, just a pinch gently scrubbed into the scalp to help exfoliate and remove buildup before applying the oil. Others warm the oil slightly and leave it in overnight, covering their pillow with a soft towel. It's not complicated. It's just a rhythm, a return to something soothing and slow. For those dealing with hair loss linked to hormonal shifts, especially the hormone DHT, castor oil may be a gentle ally. While nothing replaces a medical consultation, this natural approach has offered comfort and encouragement to many who feel like they've tried everything else. As always, we recommend speaking with your doctor if you have ongoing concerns, because senior health tips should always be shaped with you in mind. In a world filled with flashy products and expensive solutions, sometimes it's the simplest practices that hold the most meaning. The quiet moments, the homemade touches, the tools that sit not in some distant store but right in your kitchen cabinet or bathroom drawer. This is what senior living is truly about, not chasing youth but nurturing the body you live in today with love and presence. So if you've noticed a little more hair in the drain lately, if you've run your fingers through your hair and felt that wave of sadness, know that you're not alone. And know that there are still gentle things you can do. Not because you have to look a certain way, but because caring for yourself is always worth the time. Here in the senior wellness community, we honor these small acts. They're not vain, they're not foolish, they're beautiful. Because every step you take to support yourself is a statement, I still value who I am inside and out. And that more than anything is what truly shines. It's a familiar rhythm for many of us. You step out of bed in the morning, the sunlight peeking through the curtains, and before your feet fully touch the floor, you feel it, that tightness in your knees, or the dull ache in your lower back. It's not sharp, but it's there, persistent. A reminder that your joints are no longer as quiet as they once were. As we grow older, these little discomforts become more common. Whether it's stiffness in the hips after sitting too long, or a slow, lingering soreness in the shoulders after gardening, they can quietly shape how we move through the day. For some, even a trip to the local farmer's market or a stroll through the neighborhood becomes something to plan around. But aging doesn't mean giving up movement. It just means learning to support it differently, with more care, more patience, and more intention. And sometimes that support can come from something as simple and time-honored as castor oil. In the world of senior wellness, we often talk about finding small, manageable ways to ease discomfort without relying on extremes. Castor oil has quietly earned its place in that conversation, not because it's flashy, but because it's gentle, natural, and rooted in tradition. When applied topically, castor oil offers more than just moisture. It's rich in ricinoleic acid, which has been noted for its anti-inflammatory and circulation-supporting properties. That means when you rub it into sore joints like your knees, lower back, or even the tops of your feet, it may help increase local blood flow and bring a sense of ease to tired, overworked tissues. Picture this. It's late afternoon. You've been out in the garden or running a few errands. Now you're back on your front porch feet, up the scent of lavender drifting through the air. You warm a small amount of castor oil in your hands and slowly massage it into your knees. The motion is calm. There's no rush. It's not just the oil working, it's the ritual, the time you've set aside to care for yourself. Some seniors go a step further by using warm compresses. After applying the oil, they cover the joint with a soft cloth, then place a warm heating pad over it. 10-15 minutes pass. The body relaxes, the tightness loosens. It's not a miracle, but it's meaningful, and often that's enough. These types of gentle, consistent practices are at the heart of what we believe in when we talk about senior living. It's not about chasing your younger self. It's about honoring your current self, finding what helps you feel steadier, more comfortable, and more in control of your day. Of course, as always, if you're managing chronic pain or inflammation, be sure to consult with your healthcare provider. Natural options like castor oil can complement your routine, but they're not a replacement for professional medical advice. That's why we always include this as part of our senior health tips. Listen to your body and your doctor. But don't underestimate the value of these quiet remedies. They're not only soothing to the body, they're soothing to the spirit. There's something deeply empowering about knowing that comfort might be found in a familiar jar of oil, a few minutes of gentle touch, and a willingness to tend to yourself with kindness. So whether you're someone who walks every morning before breakfast or someone who simply wants to rise from a chair without wincing, know that you're not alone. Know that support exists, and sometimes it lives in the smallest, most ordinary places. Here in the senior wellness community, we celebrate that, because every step you take to care for your body, no matter how small, is a step toward freedom, vitality, and the quiet joy of moving through your day with greater ease. Take your time. Move gently. You deserve that kind of care. There's something reassuring about a quiet morning. Perhaps you're sitting by the kitchen window, with a soft breeze coming through the screen, a warm mug of tea in hand, and a gentle hum of birds outside. These little routines bring comfort. But when your digestive system isn't cooperating, even the most peaceful mornings can start with discomfort or unease. As we grow older, digestion tends to change. Meals that once left us feeling energized now bring bloating or sluggishness. Some mornings are interrupted by constipation, while others bring an urgency that keeps us near the restroom. It's not dramatic, but it can be disruptive. And over time, it chips away at our sense of ease. In the world of senior wellness, we often talk about ways to gently support the body's natural rhythms, because the truth is our digestive systems appreciate a little extra kindness as the years go on. And one humble oil that has quietly supported many seniors in this area is castor oil. You may have heard stories from your parents or grandparents about how castor oil was once a common remedy kept in every household. And while it may have earned a reputation for its strong effects when taken internally, today's conversation isn't about extremes. Instead, we're exploring how small, thoughtful use of castor oil may support digestion and healthy bowel movements in a way that feels gentle, respectful, and manageable. Some seniors choose to take just a teaspoon of food-grade castor oil mixed with warm water or tea. A few times a week, not daily, not heavily, just enough to help nudge the system when things feel a bit stuck. They often describe feeling lighter, less bloated, and more regular, without the cramping or harsh urgency that some over-the-counter options can bring. Others prefer to use it externally, massaging warm castor oil into the lower abdomen in slow circular motions, then covering the area with a soft cloth and applying a gentle heat pad. This soothing practice may support movement in the gut by relaxing the muscles and encouraging circulation. It becomes not only a digestive aid, but a moment of calm self-care. Imagine this as part of your Sunday routine. You've just come back from the local farmer's market with a basket of fresh produce. The afternoon sun is pouring through your living room window. As you settle into your recliner with a warm compress and a book you've been meaning to finish, it's quiet. No one's rushing. And your body is finally getting the message you're paying attention. Of course, digestion is influenced by many factors: what we eat, how much we move, how we manage stress. So it's important to remember that senior health tips aren't one size fits all. If you're dealing with chronic digestive issues, or if you're taking medications, always speak to your doctor before introducing something new to your routine. That kind of partnership between traditional care and gentle natural practices is the foundation of balanced senior living. Still, it's encouraging to know that options like castor oil exist, affordable, accessible, and rooted in years of quiet tradition. They remind us that we don't always need a cabinet full of complicated solutions. Sometimes a single bottle, a few mindful minutes, and a willingness to care for ourselves differently is all it takes to feel better. Here in the senior wellness community, we believe in these small rituals, not as cures, but as companions offering comfort, predictability, and a sense of control over your own well-being. So if your mornings haven't felt quite right lately, or if you're simply looking for a more natural way to support your digestion, know that you're not alone. Many others have walked the same path, finding calm and relief in small time-tested steps. And remember, the act of caring for your digestive health isn't just physical, it's emotional too. It's about honoring the whole of who you are and giving yourself the patience and presence you've earned over the years. Because your body is still listening. And with a little attention, it might just thank you in the quietest, kindest ways. It's often in the quietest moments that we begin to notice the little things. Sitting by the window as the sun sets, you glance down and realize your feet feel colder than they used to. Or you rub lotion into your hands and see how thin and dry the skin has become, no longer as soft or vibrant as it once was. These aren't just signs of aging, they're gentle nudges from the body asking for a little more care. Many older adults experience changes in circulation as the years go by. The hands and feet feel cold even in warm weather. Small cuts take longer to heal. Skin becomes drier, duller, more fragile. It's easy to overlook these signs. After all, they don't shout, but they can speak volumes about what's happening inside. One way some seniors have chosen to respond is through a simple, natural practice that's been passed down quietly for generations, using castor oil to support circulation and nourish the skin. At first glance, castor oil might seem unremarkable, thick, a little sticky, maybe even tucked away in the back of your bathroom cabinet, but this humble oil holds gentle power. When massaged into the skin, especially into areas like the legs, arms, or feet, it may help increase local blood flow, ease muscle tension, and deeply hydrate aging skin. Imagine this as part of your early evening routine. The day is winding down. You're on the front porch, the breeze is soft, and your favorite quilt is draped over your knees. You warm a few drops of castor oil between your palms and begin to rub it into your lower legs. Not hurried, not out of necessity, but as a small, loving ritual. You notice the warmth return, the skin softening beneath your touch. You feel present again in your body in the moment. Some seniors even turn this into a bedtime habit, especially during the colder months. A light massage with castor oil followed by cozy socks or soft gloves becomes more than skincare. It becomes a way to tell the body you're still cared for. In the spirit of senior wellness, these gentle practices aren't about reversing time. They're about embracing where you are and finding ways to feel more comfortable, more nourished, and more connected to yourself each day. While circulation is influenced by many factors, activity levels, diet, and overall health, supporting it from the outside can be one piece of the puzzle. A warm castor oil rub may not solve everything, but it may offer real comfort, especially when combined with other small changes you make to support your health and mobility. If your skin has become more sensitive over time, start small. A patch test. A few drops. Listen to how your body responds. And as always, if you have underlying conditions or concerns about circulation, it's best to consult your healthcare provider. These moments of care should always work in harmony with professional advice. Here in the senior living community, we value the kinds of care that feel personal and sustainable, the kinds that help you feel more at home in your own skin, literally and figuratively. Because good circulation isn't just about blood flow, it's about how alive you feel in your body, how connected you are to the life still pulsing through you. These small rituals, an oil massage, a quiet moment in your garden, the scent of a favorite candle as you wind down are part of what makes senior health tips feel attainable. They don't require expensive tools or big promises, just consistency, just intention. So if you've noticed your skin feeling a little less vibrant lately or your hands and feet a little colder, don't ignore it. Let that be your cue to slow down and offer yourself something simple and supportive. Even a small bottle of oil can become a doorway to peace. Because in the world of senior wellness, care doesn't always mean changing everything. Sometimes it means returning to the basics with grace and gratitude. You deserve to feel warm, cared for, and alive right down to your fingertips. Some nights sleep arrives like an old friend, gently, easily, with no resistance. But on other nights, no matter how many pillows you fluff or how long you lie quietly, it just doesn't come. You find yourself staring at the ceiling, mind racing through the day's worries or the week's to-do list. And before you know it, it's 3 a.m. again. As we age, sleep often becomes more delicate. It's not just about the hours we get, it's about the quality. We want to drift off peacefully and wake feeling restored, not groggy or restless. But when the nervous system is out of balance, when stress, overstimulation, or internal tension linger, it can be hard to find that deep rest we once took for granted. That's where the gentle power of castor oil comes back into the picture. In the spirit of senior wellness, we're not suggesting a miracle solution. Rather, we're exploring a quiet, nurturing practice that some older adults have found helpful for calming the nervous system and encouraging better sleep. This approach begins with something simple: warm castor oil gently massaged into the skin, especially across the upper abdomen, chest, or neck. These are areas where the vagus nerve runs a key part of our nervous system that plays a role in calming the body and signaling that it's safe to rest. Some seniors describe this nighttime ritual as profoundly soothing. After dinner and a light walk around the garden or a relaxing chat with a neighbor, they take a few minutes for themselves. Sitting on the back porch as the sun fades, or just before slipping into bed, they warm a small amount of oil between their hands and slowly massage it across their chest or upper belly in quiet circles. A warm cloth and heating pad may follow, or maybe just a favorite robe and a cup of chamomile tea. There's something comforting in this rhythm, not just in the oil itself, but in the act of slowing down, of telling the body, you can let go now. In senior living, we often find that the smallest rituals create the deepest sense of peace. It's not about fixing every problem overnight. It's about reconnecting with ourselves through touch, stillness, and presence. And the calming of the vagus nerve through gentle castor oil massage can be one step on that path. For some, this practice has led to falling asleep faster. For others, it's helped quiet that inner tension that keeps the body on alert. And for many, it's simply become a treasured part of their evening wind-down, a way to ease from the busyness of the day into the softness of night. Of course, sleep issues can have many causes, some physical, some emotional, some even related to medication. That's why it's always a good idea to speak with a doctor if sleeplessness persists. The goal here is not to replace medical care, but to offer a gentle, supportive option alongside it. One rooted in care tradition and self-awareness. At the heart of Senior Health Tips is the reminder that rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your body works hard for you each day, and it deserves the chance to recharge. So whether you try castor oil, a warm bath, a nighttime walk, or simply breathing slowly in the dark, know that every effort to support your nervous system matters. Here in the senior wellness community, we honor rest as a form of healing. Not something to fight for, but something to welcome softly and intentionally. So tonight, if sleep feels distant, try slowing down. Try listening in. Maybe it's not just your mind that needs rest, but your heart, your breath, your whole being. You deserve peace. One gentle step at a time. Sometimes the most powerful changes begin with the gentlest steps. A quiet evening, massage, a warm compress, or a few thoughtful minutes just for yourself. These aren't just routines, they're reminders that you still matter and your comfort is worth the time. As we age, it's easy to feel like the world is rushing past. But here in this shared space of senior wellness, we honor a different pace, one that values presence, tradition, and the quiet strength that lives in each of us. You don't need big promises or expensive fixes to feel better. Sometimes the answers are already in your hands. So take a breath, trust your intuition, and treat yourself with kindness. You've earned it. If this video made you smile or feel understood, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You're welcome to like, subscribe, or share it with someone special. Until next time, stay well and take care of the beautiful life you're living.